So, folks, good afternoon, and welcome back to Xplane 12. We are back in Pakistan, and back in Skardu airport here, which is the latest landable area here, closest to the Great Mountains here in Karakorum. Here's the big Karakorum range and the borders between Pakistan and China, and we are parked at Skardu airport here with an AS-350 helicopter, and we want to make a trip to the big glaciers and make some kind of adventure trip to the huge high peaks of the Karakorum range and see if we can reach this is called Concordia, which is the join between big glaciers. One is called Baltoro glaciers and the other, I don't remember the name, and a big one. So in the joint point in the where these two big glacier join, there's a famous base camp for the famous climbers to get to the K2, second tallest peak in the world after Everest, and the Gasherbrum range, Gasherbrum 1, Gasherbrum 2 is Gasherbrum 4, Gasherbrum 2 is here. Anyway, here there are at least 3 8,000 meter tall mountains, and this is a point where we can admire all these mountains together, and we will try to get there, and if it's not too high, because this is a big plateau, it is around 70,000 feet high. Let's see here, and it's a difficult operating height for an helicopters, for an helicopter. But we know that the Airbus H125 or the Aérospatiale 350, which is this helicopter, I think it has got the record, the height records. I don't remember what was the altitude he reached, but it has been able to reach, but it's pretty much high. So we are confident that this machine can reach safely this point. To reach this point, it's a long way from Skardu. It's approximately 60-70 miles, and we will try to make this way to the northeast, past Shigar village. So this is Skardu, this is Shigar, and we will try to make through this valley, where I found this is narrow. It is, a little lower than the majority, than the average peaks here, so we can make through this valley and reach this lake, and from this lake we will continue to this valley to reach the big glaciers here until Concordia waypoint, which is here. So this is the preface, the Okay, to this flight, I want to try. Yes, I'm talking a bit because usually I make these flights, and I'm not talking, or I put some music just to make the flight less boring. Now I try to say something, even if the flight is very long. It's very long. So, what about the fuel? It's better for us to have a full fuel configuration. No, it's not full. Okay, so 2 hours, normal cruise. Apply changes. So good. And let's start battery. Anti-collision. And here we go. OPSD. No weather information available, so I don't know what is the QNH. Maybe, I don't know. There's no data, no maps, that nothing about Skardu. Anyway, its elevation is important. Its elevation is 7,299 feet. So 7,299. So we adjust this in order to get the right QNH, even if we don't have data. So, okay. Avionics. Horn. Flight. And the generator. And we set the transponder to Addons mode. And we should be good to go. To the map. should have made a flight plan. Let's see if it's just for reference. Extremely difficult to click with the here it is. So we have a reference route to follow. Great. Let's go. The flight model of this helicopter is fantastic. The best I have tried. Nothing to share with the arcade-ish Flight Simulator 2024. This is very, very serious behavior. The P2, yeah, the P2 is here. There is some turbulence. It's raining. Let's climb a bit. The scenery has been made with Auto 4 XP. Version 1.40. The zoom level here is 18, and then it gets 17 until destination, and there is something more detailed near the main peaks. So I've used 18 and even 19 somewhere near the K2 and Karakorum. There is some strange noise, strange wind noise that I'm not used to. I don't know what is happening, but it looks like all the doors and the windows are closed. So I don't know, maybe it's the turbulence. I would like to have a look at the external view, but it's difficult to control the plane, the aircraft. Sorry, plane, the helicopter. See? So Shigar should be over there. We have to turn left and find this big, this big green area, and then turn here and get into the valley here. Another passage should have been this one, but it's too steep. We're going too fast. That's the valley. Now we should be able to climb to more or less 16,000 feet to get over the Great Pass. And be able to overtake these big mountains. Adjust the visual VR point of view, because every time I go to the external view it does change. But I'm doing something wrong because the helicopter is slowing too much. Get distracted by this, and I should be piloting instead of changing my views. So we have to still turn left. So the lowest pass should be there. There's no lower point around here. So we continue following the flight plan. I'm helping with the full collective. Should be 15,500. Yes, more or less. Great. Going down. So, with the pointer, so now next waypoint would be this lake down here. I don't want to lose too much altitude, because then we have to climb again. at the junction with the big glaciers. Here the peaks, the mountains start to be very high. Here's the lake. I believe this one should be already the K2. Could be. That pyramid-shaped peak should be the K2. And that is another big one. Pointer. Either a big it's easy to lose control. Okay, let's concentrate on piloting. Then we may have to land somewhere to check the maps. And then by turning left, we should be on our last leg to the Concordia waypoint. Downside on the autos for mountains is that it has got big shadows, and it is needless to say it ruins experience, but it's pretty much impossible having big mountains without shadows cast on them. This is Bing satellite imagery. And the coloring is it's not so good. I've also tried the Google source and it may be better, but it's two different colors matched together, and it makes so they individually are good, but they are put together, they are very different one from each other, so it's not a good overall view. So I prefer to keep the Bing, which is more uniform, but it's kind of worse. Really, the weather is not so good on the 8,000 area. We hope to see something. It's the real weather on. Let's keep the altitude in favor of speed. At this altitude we still have a good lift. Yes, I think that's okay. Take the pointer, try to pilot at the same time and show you. This should be the K2, and this total one is 8,611 meters. This is the broad peak. At the highest is the broad peak central, and here there should be the Gajabrum 4, Gajabrum 1, and Gajabrum 2 and Gajabrum 1. So all the main peaks should be in this range, and they're already visible from here, of course. Yeah, the broad peak should be, the main should be given for the reason it's very wide. It's a wide extension. At the end of this glacier, tongue, we have the Concordia waypoint, which is where the shadows begin. Where the shadows, let's take the pointer. Here's Concordia, more or less here. So to recap, since we are closer, K2, Broad Peak, and this the peak behind this one, the smaller it is, but the higher one is the Karakorum 2, and this is the Karakorum 1. So from this base camp, more or less, you can climb to every one of those 8,000. Where here after Concordia there are the base camp for the Broad Peak, the base camp for the K2, and behind, if you turn right, and behind those first so lower ranges, there's the base camp for the Karakorum 1 and 2. If we have, but I think we don't have enough fuel to go there. Or maybe we have, yeah, we have, anyway. K2 is beautiful, pyramid shape. The Italians were the first to reach the summit in 1954. Here later, after the Everest War was conquered by the English, the year after the Italians conquered the K2, Compagnoni Lacedelli, but also remember Bonatti, which took the oxygen to the two climbers that reached the summit, but the oxygen was brought by Bonatti. Yes, I don't really remember the name. Beautiful. This in front of us we have the Karakorum, I think 6, or I don't know, the minor. It should be written over there. It is knowing. It should be written over there. So I cannot leave the cyclic. Oh, turbulence. It's very. I'd better that I go down a bit, because with this turbulence and the thin air, it's very easy to stall the rotor. Make a turn. here the Karakorum. It's famous for having very quickly changing weather conditions, more than in the Himalayas. Here the weather is very bad, and this is one of the reasons why the mountains here are difficult to climb, because the weather. Okay, so we try to climb the broad peak because I think it has there's more chance maybe land on it if we can get that high, and then from there we can see, we can look at the panorama. So I don't feel like climbing the K2. Because the Llama was able to get as high as the K2 and Everest. I fear that this helicopter is not able to get that high. Broad peak is let's see what happened. Okay, it goes. There was some spare power. I think I have to go up in circle, make circles. Because the flight model of this plane is the helicopter is pretty much accurate. In fact, it is. I think it's more than this. It's very difficult to go. It's very easy to stall. Try a little bit more, get some more altitude. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. That's the operative limit. can't counteract the spinning, the tail spinning with the rudder, with the pedal. Up it goes. Can do it. That's the broken center of there. Let's gain speed. The more speed we gain, the more lift we have. Yes, we can go. We have energy enough to reach the summit. This should be the central peak, the central summit. No, I was too optimistic. Never cross if you're not sure you can do it. We got some thermos or something because oh my gosh, yeah, stalling. No, it's impossible to hover. It's impossible to hover. There is also big wind. Anyway, we are at 25,000. No. No, we're going down. It's not safe to go, to slow down. It's not safe. Go down. No. It's stalling. We have burned half the quantity of fuel, so I think we can barely make our return trip. Anyway, we can get closer to the airport and then maybe make a landing, an emergency landing beforehand. So we should be close to the K2 Base Camp here, where the expeditions start the climb to the other camps along the walls to get to the summit. So they should be following this path to here, climb there, then going up this wall, and then make the final run to the summit. And here they build the intermediate camps to, you know, how do you say, to acclimate, to get used to the higher altitudes, because here we are at 5,000 meters more or less, and it goes up to 6,000-7,000, so on, until 8,600. So you need at least 3 or 4 intermediate camps to be settled to achieve the climb to the summit. So, okay, the purpose of this flight has been done, has been reached. I wanted to show you how the O24XP building, scenery building works, and gives pretty much accurate representation of also of the close-up details of the terrain. And of course the ground is not good as Flight Simulator 2024, but one thing has to be said: the flight model of this helicopter and of helicopters in general, I insist to say, keep on saying that, X-plane, it's on another league and another precision, another it's got a lot more real life characteristic and features than the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Of course, that it's good for graphics, but the flight model is still a lot to go, a lot to learn and to fix. Okay, that's all, my friends. Hope you enjoyed this strange video, and sorry, I will get back to the fixed wings one day, but this weeks, these months, I'm very fond of helicopters in all sausages and DCS, Flight Simulator, X-plane, especially X-plane. And they are very, very nice. They allow you to enjoy the scenery. You can go low and slow, and to stop whenever you want to have a look at the scenery and so on. So I like them very much. So see you to the next one. Have a good evening. Bye bye to everyone.